Hey, how's it going? And today we're going to take a second look at this Blueprint user interface. I've literally spent hours of frustration trying to get my mind around it. So I'm going to show you another way to set it up. I did another video on how to do this previously, and this one's a little bit different. And each time I do it, I'm learning a little bit more about it and hopefully sharing what I've learned as we go. So I'm just in the third person template right here, and we're just going to go create. It just takes a minute to load up. Toward the end of this video, I'll show you something that's pretty fun, kind of funny, that I kind of stumbled upon. So basically the point of the Blueprint user interface is for one Blueprint to be able to communicate with another. And I thought previously that both sides had to have the interface set in their class settings, but it's not really true. Just one Blueprint needs to have the interface set. So let me walk you through this scenario, and then you can hopefully see how this all works. And then I'll show you where I got stumped and how I figured it out. So anyway, what we're going to do is let's make our interface first. So we right click, go to Blueprint interface, and we can just call this interact, and we can click into it, and I'm going to call this function activate print, and that's it. That's all there is to it. It's kind of a joke in a way. But we'll save it, and we're going to go ahead and dock it. So that's our actual interact, and you can see it's set up. The icon is like one Blueprint communicating to another, and the gear really represents the interface itself. So it's becomes a channel of communication. I guess you can think of it like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to come into the BP third person character, and we're going to hit Control D and make a copy of it, and we're going to call this BP second person. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to hit Control Shift S to save everything. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this Blueprint, this third person. So when I play the game, I'm in this person. This person here is going to call this one. So this is going to send out a call, and this is going to have an event that's going to trigger it to print a string. So this Blueprint will be calling this Blueprint like they're friends or something. So, but this is the one that needs to have at least the interface implemented on it. This one doesn't have to have it implemented, and I didn't realize that. So that's why I'm making this tutorial, to clarify that. So let's go into this one we just created, the second person, and in here what we do is we're going to go into the class settings, and we're going to we're going to add that interface we just made, which was called interact. So interact, it's right here, and so we're implementing this interface within this second person Blueprint. And now you can see it over here, the activate print. So now with that over there, I can do what's called an event. And I guess this is what's the event. You can think of it as a trigger. So it's event activate print right here. So now you can think of the event as the receiver or the trigger. So the third person is going to be making a phone call to this guy, and it's going to come in as an event. And all we're going to do is go print string here. So just go print string, and to go, this actually works. And that's all we're going to do here. So now we compile and save. Now if we come over into our third person, you can think of it as he's going to make a phone call now. But notice I don't have to set the class settings on here, and I don't have to really do that much to make the call, but actually I do have to do some stuff. So I'm going to trigger this whole thing, the phone call, with a keyboard event. So let's just say I'll go keyboard, and we'll do it with a let's do it with an E. So this is what's going to trigger the call. So there's some steps in here, and we'll walk through this right now. So the first thing is we're going to do is get overlapping actors, this one right here. So when these actors, these blueprints come in proximity of each other, this is what we're looking for. And the class filter is going to be actor. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a for loop. So we're going to go for each loop with a break. And this comes in as an array, so we just pop this into here like that. And this is going to keep looping until it gets a message to break the loop. Now from here, we are going to we're going to test to see, does it implement the interface? Does implement interface. So this is going to check to see if there's an interface active. But just, I guess, on one side, and it's our interact that we did. And so, because all this is doing is pressing an E, and then it's going to make a call. You'll see that in a minute here. And then we're going to do, if you press B, as in boy, and then click, you get a branch node. So we're going to link this up. And we're basically, if the two actors overlap, and this will be where we get stumped in a minute here. When our two actors overlap, then does it implement an interface, this interface that we just created? Then if that's true, then we're going to make the phone call. So this array element's going to go into there, and then we're going to make our phone call. So we're going to go to interact. I guess I cuts call. Can I go call? No, this is not called call. It's interact. It's the name of the function that we're looking for, which is activate print. Oops, sorry. So we're looking for, I got to do this again, activate print. And it's going to be a message because it's going between two blueprints. And the target is the gears. So I don't know if I come back here, and I guess I got to come over here. So this is the interact interface right there. And this is the blueprint third person, and this is the blueprint second person. And so this is going to make it call. So we put this in as true, and then we got to plug in our target here. And as far as I know, oh, the last thing is to send in our break. And then that looks messy, so we can double click this line and make a reroute node so it's a little bit clearer what's happening. So we're going to press E. It's going to check if we have overlapping actors, and if they do we have an interface? And if yes, that's true. Oh, we got to put our condition in. If that's true, then go ahead and make the phone call to the second person. As far as I know, that's all of our code. Now, I know this isn't going to work, and I want to see if you can guess what the problem is. But the code is all correct, because the last thing we need to do is, let me go in here to my blueprint, and I just need to drag this onto the scene here. So there's our second person. So here's what's going to happen. Now I'm in the scene. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to hit E on the keyboard, and nothing's happening. Do you know why nothing's happening? Well, this is what drove me crazy. So because this code is all correct, the user interface is set up correctly, and this is all set up correctly. There's nothing wrong with this code. You can see everything's compiling. What is the problem? Well, as far as I can tell, the problem is this right here, is the overlapping actors. And it's confusing because if you look at it, you'd think they've got a capsule here. And when I come in here, doesn't it look like the capsules would be colliding? Look, I come in here like this. Doesn't it seem like we're overlapping? Apparently not. Apparently we're not overlapping. I'm hitting W, by the way, to get in there, WASD. And then I hit E, nothing's happening. So what I realized was that they're not overlapping. So what we have to do, even though we have this capsule component, it's not enough. So we're going to come in here, we're going to go box, we have to add a box collider. And it's right there. And then all we have to do is just scale this out more. So we make sure that we come into contact. And that should do it. And I don't have to do anything else. Now it should work. So let's go in there. It better work. Now if I hit E, you see, this actually works. So that was the problem, was just missing the box collider. But anyway, that's one way that two blueprints can communicate with each other. But I was just going to show you something fun now real quick. And this cracked me up was when I was first figuring this all out, if you come up to the capsule component, you have the option to scale this thing. Now look at this. If you go 2, 2, 2, I thought that this would be enough to trigger the interaction, the overlap, but it wasn't. You still had to add the box collider. But look, if we come into the third person, look how big it is now. So I think there's a lot of application here. Don't forget that you can scale all these mannequins up, so you're not just stuck with the size that they are. So anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you found this helpful. Take care and have a great day.